So basically, down below, a lot of people are canceling their hotel bookings for the World Cup in 2026.
Well, it looks like the World Cup and the hotel industry are getting completely screwed by Trump and his war. World Cup host cities like San Francisco, Philadelphia, and New York have reported tens of thousands of hotel cancellations by FIFA, and fans are not making reservations either. And all of this is Trump's fault because people can't afford to fly or drive to the games because of oil prices.
All right, it's looking like the World Cup might be a bust. Hotels say the World Cup economic boom is not materializing. Hotel reservations in host cities like New York, Philadelphia, and San Francisco are reporting lower than expected bookings.
Secret Service Sam here for LA Magazine, and this is crazy. Thousands of hotel rooms are being canceled for the World Cup. Why? Because people don't want to come to America to take part in the World Cup. They'd rather stay home, go to a bar, do anything else.
Listen, this right here is not normal. We are talking about the FIFA World Cup, one of the biggest events in the planet. Billions watching, millions traveling, stadium packed. So explain this to me. How are we just week ahead or even months ahead, just a few months, and hotel are saying booking are low? No, something deeper is going on. But before I even say much about it, I would like you to watch how this hotel and people reacted on this, because once you say it, you are going to understand why people are starting to ask a serious question. Let's go watch those clips and we'll come back for our full details analysis on it.
So now the hotel industry in the United States is starting to worry about the World Cup because they're seeing that people are not going to come. They don't have reservations, or at least what they expected in terms of reservations for this summer. And they're basically blaming it on the geopolitical tensions and the sustained Trump slump of lacking international tourism to the United States, because ever since he came into the White House, we've had consecutive months of decline of tourism visits to the U.S. I will add one other thing, though, okay, that is not political. I do think the hotel industry also misread the moment and increased the prices exponentially, thinking that all 104 games were 104 Super Bowls, as Goofy Tino was out there promoting. They should have realized, no, not every game is going to be Super Bowl-like, and thus should have dropped their prices accordingly. But they were also being very, very stubborn about, reducing prices, providing deals for fans. And so now we're here. Now, these hotels are only expecting a revenue boost per available room nationally of only 1.2% in June and 1.5% in July. And again, this is extremely disappointing stats considering that they were expecting a hell of a lot more people to come. We are much less bullish about the World Cup than we were 3 months ago. The demand for reserved room blocks has been very lackluster. Now, they are holding out hope that in July, things will get a little bit better as the games do get better since they're going to be in the knockout stages. And they hope that tourism from abroad will pick up at the last minute. But again, the rules that the White House have put in place to allow for easier last-minute trips to the United States have also gotten more difficult. So it's a give and take. But yeah, we should not be expecting the $30.5 billion economic output impact that this World Cup was expected to create, nor expect the 185,000 jobs like that. This is all bullshit numbers. Now, apparently to this analysis, the one city that is going to lose out the most in terms of revenue per rooms is Kansas City, which to me seems kind of weird because actually Kansas City, they got 2 Argentina games. They actually have some pretty good games. I would have thought San Francisco would have been on this list, considering the games that they got at the end.
Well, I don't know if this story is true or not, but I'm going to respond to it anyway. So basically down below, a lot of people are canceling their hotel bookings for the World Cup in 2026. Specifically in the United States. And we all know why. We all know why, with the political climate in the United States being on fire, as well as it just feels like the whole fucking world's on fire, straight up. It just feels like that. And it's just so bad. And I kind of feel for the people that are canceling their bookings for hotels and accommodations for the World Cup, because it's scary, man. It's scary to know that you're spending all this money when it comes to accommodation and tickets to go to the World Cup in the United States, and you don't know if you're going to come back home. That's scary, man. 100% scary. Is that going to deter me? No. I'm still going to try to go to the World Cup. Hopefully I get tickets as well as book accommodations for the World Cup. In the United States, I'm definitely still going to go. But I do understand why people are scared. to go to the United States for sure. We see the clips online, we see the news and everything like that. It's scary times right now in the world. But I believe that the one thing that could bring everyone together for that moment of just relief and just peace is football. Football, especially the World Cup, is magical in bringing people together, and just for that singular moment in time, everyone just forgets their worries and just focus on the beautiful game. So hopefully the power of football can overcome the power and greed and all this other shit that's happening around the world right now. But I totally understand why people are canceling their bookings for the World Cup.
It's very clear that at this point, the World Cup is about to be not a very successful one. Why do I say this? Because besides of all of the reports of people not wanting to come, the European Union countries saying that it's not safe to come here, now the hotels in the US, in the main cities where this is going to happen, are reporting below expectation reservations, and they're calling it the Trump slump. Why? Because nobody in their right fucking mind want to come to the States and watch a World Cup in a country in which frozen agents can pick you the fuck up whenever they feel like, just because of the way you look. In a country in which the policies that are being passed are completely nationalistic, fascist, and straight up racist. Also, a country that is invading one of the country teams that qualified to the World Cup. It's the first time in history that the host invaded one of the teams that is coming. A country in which the prices are just fucking skyrocketing, where FIFA is telling you you can sit over here, but in reality the tickets were available over here because we gave it to our donors. I know people don't want to hear this. I know people say, I don't care about FIFA, people have other problems. But what I'm trying to show is that the effects of our decisions affect everybody worldwide, including yourself. Even if you don't give a fuck about soccer, even if you don't give a fuck about football, FIFA, anything else, you have to understand that these dumb fucking policies are affecting our standing in the world. And when something as insignificant to you as the World Cup is affected by the decisions of the dumb motherfuckers leaving the country, that should be a red fucking flag. I'm Alex, this is my rant, and I'm out.
What if I told you people are skipping the World Cup in the United States because they're afraid of immigration? I just read a report where international fans said they felt safer going to Brazil or South Africa than the United States. Why? They're worried about ICE. They're worried about getting stopped at the border, at the airport. They're worried their phone will be searched, or they'll be turned away and deported back home. Some are even reselling tickets and going to games in Canada or Mexico instead. Now, let me tell you the truth as an immigration lawyer. If you have a valid visa, or you have a valid ESTA, no criminal issues, you're not violating any immigration laws, you're going to be allowed into the United States. But here's the problem. Perception becomes reality. And right now, perception globally is that the United States is strict, it's unpredictable, it's aggressive, and it's nowhere any foreigners want to be. That alone is enough to change behavior. And that's why this World Cup may look very different than past ones. More domestic fans from the United States, probably wealthier fans as well, fewer international supporters for their country's team. So this is not just about soccer, football, it's about how immigration policy impacts the entire world. So if you're thinking about coming to the United States and you're unsure, don't guess. Get real legal advice.
All right, it's looking like the World Cup might be a bust. Hotels say the World Cup economic boom is not materializing. Hotel reservations in host cities like New York, Philadelphia, and San Francisco are reporting lower than expected bookings. Who wants to come here to 1930s Germany? Like, really? Did you know we're being boycotted by most of the world? And that was even before we attacked Iran with Israel. Did you know that tourism is normally $3 trillion of economic stimulus in the USA economy? And we're going to be devastated by our lack of tourism, not only this year, but the next 3 years. Nobody's coming here. Most people have canceled their trips here. Did you know that Canadians are our largest group of visitors? And sometimes they come here 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year, and they're not coming here. This is going to be catastrophic for the USA. FIFA is going to be a dud Were you planning on coming here for a vacation and you've changed your plans? Were you coming here for the World Cup and you've changed your plans? Drop a comment below. And if you found this post informative and you want to know what's going on in the economy, please like, comment, follow, and share.
Secret Service Sam here for LA Magazine, and this is crazy. Thousands of hotel rooms are being canceled for the World Cup. Why? Because people don't want to come to America to take part in the World Cup. They'd rather stay home, go to a bar, do anything else but come here and risk getting arrested if you don't look right. They've already said that ICE will be at a lot of the World Cup events, and we are starting to feel the pain. Also, at the airport, I've seen videos there, which is just showing we are not ready for the amount of traffic and taxiing and Uber ride sharing that it would take to accomplish what the World Cup needs. What do you guys think? Will you be watching the World Cup here in LA? I was looking up tickets. Tickets are like $1,000 a piece anyway. But the truth of it is nobody wants to come to America right now. We're not that welcoming, and therefore it is hurting tourism and hurting ticket sales for the World Cup. Let me know, are you guys going to the World Cup? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world.
Nobody wants to come here to go see the World Cup. Nobody's renting hotel rooms. Nobody wants to come here to see the World Cup. Nobody's renting hotel rooms. And that's the most beautiful thing ever. It's to my understanding that hotels have been force reserving hotel rooms for the World Cup. But nobody's buying them because nobody wants to come here to see it. That's great. That's hilarious. I mean, I wouldn't want to either. Not especially with the way the fucking shit's going down here right now. Don't come here. Don't come here. Don't rent anything. The prices will be skyrocketed because they can be. I've worked in the hotel industry before. The same kind of shit's happened. Don't come here to watch the World Cup, you guys. Don't rent our hotel rooms. Don't do it.
So in World Cup news, FIFA has canceled thousands of reservations in Mexico, United States, and in Canada. And this comes strangely at the same time as many of the host cities in the United States are canceling some of the festivities for attendees. The reason why they're canceling is that the United States federal government has not released the hundreds of millions of dollars they said they were going to give the host cities for security at these events. And these are non-game events. These are like the game is happening here, other events that are going on for fans and stuff, late night events, whatever, that most host cities have, to, for people who came to the city but couldn't get a ticket. So they're canceling a bunch of those. They're walking them back because they don't have the money they need to hire or to pay for the security they need at those events. The problem with the cancellation on the hotel side is that they're saying these cancellations are so late in the game, it's going to be difficult for us as hotels to put these hotels back on the market since so many people book in advance. They also said they're concerned because there's so much uncertainty around visas. And a lot of people booking their hotels are apparently taking the insurance in case they need to cancel. So a lot of them are worried that if there are visa issues, people are going to cancel those reservations. This is also compounded with the fact that there is concern that there may not be enough jet fuel in Europe, especially to get people to the United States, to Canada, and to Mexico for the games because of the crisis in Iran. So it's not necessarily just the price of oil that's problematic. They're saying that with the shortage, that the oil not moving and the liquid natural gas not moving, they may not have enough jet fuel to get all of those planes moving in 3 months for this event. So this is just a really bad amalgamation of things. And I really, really am sad that FIFA didn't make the decision to start moving games out of the US a little bit earlier, especially at Iran's behest. They've been asking, move our games out of the US, please, because we're being invaded and attacked by the US, and FIFA did not. So this is kind of really bad for the games, and I'm just hoping the games are something. I don't know if they're going to be good, but they're going to be something. So y'all have a good day.
FIFA just dropped thousands of rooms across 16 host cities for the World Cup, and no one's really talking about what's going on. I plan corporate events for a living, and hotel blocks are literally part of my job. I covered this a bit in my last video, but to recap, Mexico City has lost about 40% of their hotel block, Philadelphia has released about 2,000 rooms or 20%, and Vancouver reportedly lost about 70%. And here's the part no one's talking about. Most of the other host cities know about their numbers and they're not releasing them yet. And that's not random, because when numbers like this do come out, it tells you one thing: they didn't overbook, they overestimated. And at the same time, starting April 2nd, the US is expanding their visa program, requiring up to $15,000 from travelers from 50 countries just to enter the United States. Now, that's not directly tied to FIFA, but it does impact who can actually show up. When you combine hotel instability with stricter entry requirements, you're not just affecting pricing, but you're affecting demand. So if you're planning to go ahead and book with flexibility, because right now the signals are shifting pretty fast.
Philadelphia is hosting 6 World Cup games this summer at Lincoln Financial Field, including a round 16 game played on the 4th of July. 3 months out, and FIFA just canceled 2,000 hotel rooms in Philly. Federal security money has not arrived or is being withheld entirely. Multiple host cities, including Boston, Miami, and San Francisco, have scaled back or canceled fan festival events due to lack of funding. The Fan Festival in Liberty State Park, right across from MetLife Stadium, where the final is being held, has been canceled and scaled back to smaller things. For now, Philadelphia's Fan Festival in Fairmount Park is still on. Philadelphia's earned this. The Link has earned this. But 3 months out, the infrastructure surrounding the World Cup seems to be falling apart.
Well, it looks like the World Cup and the hotel industry are getting completely screwed by Trump and his war. World Cup host cities like San Francisco, Philadelphia, and New York have reported tens of thousands of hotel cancellations by FIFA, and fans are not making reservations either. And all of this is Trump's fault, because people can't afford to fly or drive to the games because of oil prices, and he's completely destroyed international travel because nobody wants to come here from outside of the country because everybody hates us now. People aren't going to go to these games to spend their money and also risk their lives, because he's promised to put ICE at every stadium. So even if you're a US citizen, why would you want to go to an event and bring your children where you know there will be violence? Because CBP and ICE doesn't do anything in a peaceful way. This was supposed to be an economic boom for this country, over $30 billion for businesses small and big, but he's ruined all of that. Summer tourism was down by huge numbers last year, and it's only going to be worse this year. Everything he touches, he destroys. There isn't a piece of this economy that he hasn't hit with a sledgehammer. And while I am sure people will be watching these games, they will be doing it from their homes or bars or restaurants. People don't want to go to these events. It's too expensive to travel, and it's dangerous to be there. Please support my work by becoming a paid subscriber on Substack.
So since everyone from Europe is so well traveled, these are some things that you should probably be aware of as someone who works for a stadium and still deals with this with our locals and our visitors. So the number one piece of advice I have for every single one of you who is going to the World Cup or you're coming to go to a concert here, print off an extra copy of your tickets, please. I am begging you. Also, add the tickets to your wallet like you would an airline pass. And you need to make sure that you have fully purchased the ticket and that it hasn't been being transferred to put it in your wallet, okay? There is nothing worse than waiting an hour to get through security for someone to tell you, hey, you have to turn around and go to the box office and deal with them because you didn't print off a physical ticket. Or the ticket in your wallet isn't working, and because there's 8,000 people trying to get on Ticketmaster or the ticket app at the same time, it is lagging and now it's not coming up. And people do not know that if you, let's say you're in town and you are in close proximity to the stadium, maybe you're visiting the area, whatever, you can go to the box office and they will print you off physical tickets. Why is this important? Because when there's 80,000 people trying to get through a stadium, Wi-Fi stops working, phones start glitching, especially if you are international, okay? I'm telling you this right now. Take it from someone who works for stadiums. This should also go without saying, but again, every venue is different. You need to check the bag policy of when you are coming, because a lot of you guys, you're traveling. You're going to have all of your stuff with you. You're going to get to some guy in probably like a yellow shirt, and they're going to tell you that bag is not coming in with you. The medication is not coming into the stadium, babes. You're going to have to check it. Like, they do not play around here. I know some people get in with like fanny packs or like Lululemon belt bags, but the best rule of thumb is clear bag. And I personally, when I go to events, I have the phone, keys, wallet mentality. As long as I have what I need, I really don't care about having all of the other extras. And the last thing that I am absolutely begging, please, 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 if you are coming from a country that does not wear deodorant and you come to the US and you are specifically going to Florida or Texas for the World Cup games, we are begging you, buy deodorant. You can go to the store, you can get a travel size deodorant. We are begging you, please wear it. People in the US barely even wear it. This is just like, please, we are begging you, those of us who have to work at venues, to please freaking wear deodorant, because some of you guys really stink and it's not cute. And you're wondering why girls don't want to talk to you. It's because you smell.
In FIFA World Cup news, this is kind of crazy today. So 8 games are scheduled to take place in New York City, but the games are not actually being held in New York City. They're actually being held in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. So to get all the fans who got hotels in New York City to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, they have to go through Penn Station. So the plan is to shut down Penn Station for 4-hour blocks every time there's a game to any locals and any commuters that are not going to the games. It gets wilder, folks. They are now planning to charge $100 for a round trip ticket from Penn Station to MetLife Station on this train. $100. It's a 700% increase from the normal $12.50 or $13 that's it normally costs to get there. You might say, oh, well, why don't you just drive your car? Because there's no parking at MetLife. The American Dream Mall is offering $300 limited parking, but there's no other parking options, so you have to take public transit into the stadium unless you've already booked a $300 parking at the American Dream Mall, which is on the same plot of land as MetLife Stadium. I'm not sure this is going to work, because again, they said they can't handle the crush of all the fans hitting Penn Station, because it is the most it's the busiest transit hub in the United States. But we'll see what happens. This World Cup is going to be something. Y'all have a good day.
Now let's have a real talk, because on the surface, this doesn't make sense at all. The World Cup is supposed to bring massive tourism, fully booked hotel, and high demand everywhere. But instead, we are hearing hesitation. Let's break it down simple. These are a few possible reasons. Cost. The travel right now is expensive. Flights, accommodation, tickets, everything is up. So people are rethinking twice. Global uncertainty. People are more cautious now. They are asking, is it worth it? Can I afford it accountably? And if the question is no, they stay home. Changing travel habits. People don't plan the same way anymore. Some wait last minute, some don't travel at all. Now let's talk perceptive. Because for many Black communities and individuals, conversation around value for money, safety, cultural experiences, and where they feel welcome have always been part of the decision. Travel isn't just about going somewhere, it's about how you are treated when you get there. So when people start hesitating, it highlights something deeper. Not everyone experiences global travel the same way, and for a lot of black travelers, there's already a strong awareness of where to go, where to avoid, and how to move smart. So this moment is not new thinking. It's just more people catching up to a mindset that's been there. Let's be honest, big global events are changing. People are no longer just following hype, they are asking, is this actually worth it for me? Because hype doesn't pay bills and it definitely doesn't justify stress. This story is trending because it challenges expectation. The World Cup is supposed to be automatic success, but now people are seeing cracks. And when something that's big looks uncertain, everyone pays attention. This is bigger than football. It's about global economy, travel behavior, and personal priorities. Because today people are choosing comfort over hype, value over prayer. Let me ask you something. If you had to spend thousands on flights, thousands on hotels, would you go just because it's trending? Or would you think twice? That's exactly what is happening right now. And at the end of the day, this isn't just about World Cup feeling, it's about people changing, people thinking smart, people moving differently. And when biggest event feels it, now I want to hear from you. Would you travel for the World Cup right now, or are the cost just too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have a heart to heart discussion about it. And if you want more real breakdown like this, hit that subscribe button because we are just watching trend. We are not just watching trend, we are understanding them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.